gym being empty is so nice. There's only one other guy in here, and there ain't nobody else in here. It's a nice thing for sure. But same pec deck, 140. Warm up same as other. Did like 107 reps and then the 140 for one rep. I still feel the same. I kind of feel on my left, something on my shoulder a little bit. I hope it doesn't affect the set. I'll stop watching. That's all good. I can just rewatch the video. So I don't actually do a warm up usually on following sets because right now my chest is already warmed up. I warm up my shoulders when I do bands, and I'm not worried about my triceps. And in doing the flies, I got blood to everywhere right here, so I'm not worried about my elbow either. So we're kind of chilling, but we're gonna do 230. I usually do 220, but 230 is on here, and I feel good. So see what we can do. I used to do 230 when I was bulking, so it's not a weight I'm unaccustomed to. I think maybe tomorrow I'll start doing morning weights because it definitely helps keep you on track in a way. If you don't obsess over it too much. But let's go. I'm debating if I want to move up 2.5. Like I usually get a lot of reps, but it's nice. No, fuck it. Because in me, there's no tilt in me. I'd be lying if I said it. Sometimes the drops take a minute, but I would give this set at least a 3x. of like increase. So it's definitely worth it. We're going up to 110. I think we're doing 100. I think. Knock it on. Dude, for some reason, I feel like this caffeine is like hitting me today. I feel so pumped. I feel so energized. I don't know. Last night, I'm a melatonin guy. I take a lot of melatonin generally. Not a lot, but like I take it every night, like 3 milligrams. But last night I didn't have any, so I stayed up till literally almost 6 in the morning trying to go to sleep. And I woke up at like noon or something, 1. I think it was 1. But that's 7 hours of sleep, dude. With no melatonin, low key, I don't know. I feel fucking jacked though. This also could be the caffeine. I don't know. Maybe it's just hitting my body differently today. Uh, I didn't eat my full dinner last night, so I'm a little lighter on food. But all right, let's get this last sit out the way, man. 'Cause I love these, bro. they actually they actually feel very, very nice. Take my abs to failure, which your abs are just like any other muscle group. So why would you not take them to failure, you know? Why would you train them light? I kind of view adductors and calves like the same way. Like if every muscle is physiologically similar, just the same way humans are physiologically similar and medical science exists. So I totally forgot where I was going with that. But low on glycogen, man, gets your brain sometimes a little blurry. But oh no, like yeah, to calves and abductors, adductors, abs, train them all to failure, bro. Train them hard, train them intense, and they'll grow like every other muscle. Treat them light and like they don't matter, and I don't know if they'll get there, man. But what do I know? Just just a newbie. Still. Mine's I saw say shine, but I can. All right. Obviously, taking abs to failure isn't as intense or exhausting as taking like your back, for example. But still gotta do it. What's up, fellas? It's kind of a switch up. I was supposed to do chest yesterday and back today, but I actually did back yesterday, chest today, which means I'm gonna hit Charms tomorrow, and my triceps will probably still feel it a little bit, but I ain't too worried about it. Good lift. Went up on shit, bro. I think we went up on everything except for back deck, and we still did this like same rep range. So I don't know. I just felt good today. I have no idea why. Just felt extra good. But I'm trying to think like what I even stayed up till 6 a.m. literally. Woke up at 1. Like terrible sleep stuff, but I feel pretty good. The lift was good. Uh, I'm I went in. The sauna takes like an hour usually to heat up, like all the way up. It starts at 80 degrees where it sets like big room temp with the door closed, and then you gotta let it rise to 200. So that usually takes like an hour to be safe, like around there. It's like 45 to an hour. But the best post workout medicinal herb ever created. And I personally think also one of the best pre workout too. This is my pre workout. This plus some caffeine. This shit puts me in the mental zone. The caffeine puts me in like the physical and mental zone. So it's nice. And I figured this would be like a longer talk. So I could do like a longer Q&A instead of just doing it on the car trip. I don't smoke while I'm driving, so I like to smoke before I hit the sauna, before I hit the gym. But First question, what's the best way to fix muscle imbalances, like when one side is stronger or bigger than the other? I would say muscle imbalances are probably only caused by, it's not so extreme, but incorrect form or incorrect technique, like deadlift opposing hands. It causes an imbalance in your traps. Like, that's known. Like, there's so many examples of that happening. So that's why I do the two overhand. But if you don't hit everything solo, you shouldn't get them. But that's not what this question is. It's the best way to fix them. Now, I know Sam Solik, the way he fixes it, I believe, is he'll do the weaker side first and then match the reps on the stronger side so the stronger side doesn't keep overlapping. What I would recommend doing, go on your stronger side and just go to failure if you're doing this isolation, right? Go to your stronger side and go to failure, get the number of reps, and then go to your weaker side and go to failure. And use intensity techniques to reach the rep count your right side got to. So if you got 20 on your right, but you went to 14 to failure on your left, do a rest pause, did three more. Do another rest pause, did three more. Maybe do another rest pause, did another three. Just stuff like that, and just keep like keep doing that until you reach the rep count, and that intensity will cause that muscle to grow more because it's a higher adaptation. My recommendation is just do things that your body is meant to work together. So why would you, unless you're at the most elite level of bodybuilding and you're isolating, then I don't see why. Which at that level you shouldn't have imbalances. So I don't know. It's a weird question, but that's what I feel about it. How do I know if I'm recovering properly between workouts or if I'm overtraining? I would say soreness. I don't think is a factor if you're recovering properly. I think soreness is different. I think you can still work out if you're sore, as long as it's not the same muscle group, because that might affect performance. But recovering properly, grip strength is one thing. If your grip strength is good, you're probably recovered and you're not overtrained. If and in like an easy way to track that over time to know how your recovery is doing and if it's dipping is just get one of those things on Amazon that you can grip test and make sure to do it at a consistent time with a consistent routine before doing the grip test. The same way as when you wake up and you do a glucose monitor or when you wake up and you weigh yourself, it's a consistent routine so the weight is as consistent as possible because you want to, the variable is already there. You want to make everything else as constant. That's just how an equation, like scientific equations, work. If there's too many variables, it doesn't work. So, especially in an experiment, you want to control as many things as possible. So, grip strength is one. The will to work out is another. And I don't know which one hits first, but they're both early stages of overtraining. Or like maybe the will to train might be like a medium stage or something like I don't know, a little more than overtraining where your grip strength might be bad. But the willingness to work out, that's like a mental thing. That's a testosterone thing. That's a hormone thing. That's a you're not recovering properly. Your not body's not functioning properly. You don't have the will to work out. Like if you don't actually want, if you're not like you don't want to get it done, unless you're just like not unless the gym is just hard for you. Like if the gym is just hard for you to go to, then that's different. But that's probably because your hormones are not where they need to be anyways. So that's another sign. If progress is halting, so if you're in a bulk, obviously, I'm in a deficit right now, but my weights have been the exact same since I started the deficit, minus maybe 10 pounds on everything. Is like the lowest I've gone. So my muscles are not like atrophying. I'm still keeping the intensity, all that stuff. But the recovering between workouts, kind of lost my train of thought. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Oh, I brought that up because on a cut, your progress will be halted, right? I've been at the same way as my progress is halted, but that doesn't mean I'm overtraining. It is likely there is a part of me overtraining because I'm going every day and I go to failure on every set and I'm doing about 5 sets a day. So it's definitely a possibility. At least Mike Menzer would probably tell me I'm overtraining. He would probably tell me to go 2 days of rest, probably. Like, but if your progress is halting, slowing down, or if it completely stops, you're not recovering properly, or at least you're not growing. You might be recovering, but you're not letting the full process take place of your adaptation you're going for. So, next question: is it better to stick with the same workout routine for a while, or switch things up often to keep making progress? I think if you keep switching things up, you're gonna go through what I call like the newbie phase of a lift, where you're trying to learn how to effectively use it. So once you find something that you can effectively use to target your muscles you're intending to, then I see no reason why you should be switching things up all the time, unless you're just doing it for the fun of it. Like, but if you actually want to make progress and you want to progress, and you want to have that tracked and know that that's actually happening, and that your form is also staying intact because you're not doing different things that require different forms and different Q-tips and different like all this stuff, you'll get really good at an exercise and you will progress and you will make progress and get stronger. And then every once in a while you can switch it up, like every I don't know 6 to 12 weeks or something. Um, I usually do my stuff for like I would say minimum of 12 weeks. I don't be switching up my stuff often because I know I'm trying to progress. Once I have a form, once I have an exercise that I've done for 12 weeks, my form is elite on it. Like I'm moving heavyweight, way heavier than I was when I first started, and my form is way better. So then when I come back to it, I have that same form, and I should have the same strength, and I'm just increasing from there. But you switch it up too often, I don't know if you'll make as much progress, and you'll be sore all the time because a part of soreness comes from new things to your body. So constantly switching it up, you just don't constantly be sore. Because I'm not like majorly sore all the time, despite what I do every day. Like obviously, I felt my back this morning. I felt my lower back last night before I was going to sleep, like my lower lats and stuff. But dude, dude, let's do another. Drop it like it's hot. If the world, oh shit! I just realized the radio was on the whole time. I might get copyrighted for that. How important is a mind muscle connection, and how do you actually develop it during workouts? I've already stressed the importance of mind muscle connection, but mind muscle connection, I would say, is an essential part of it's an essential part of going super hard, like using high intensity, and still maintaining form and making progress and going heavy. Mind muscle connection is kind of the thing that links them all together. Because with a poor mind muscle connection, you can't lift heavy weight effectively. It doesn't. It's literally not possible. But with a good mind muscle connection, you can. And how do you develop that? Practice, 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 practice. I think that's why volume is kind of beneficial for beginners. They can do a lot of sets, don't go to failure, build some adaptations, get to know everything. I did not personally go that route though. I went the route of one set of everything, and after every set, I looked back on it and I took feedback from it, and I was like, okay, what can I do next workout as a better Q-tip to more effectively feel it and maybe lift some heavier weight. And I would just add that to my notes after every lift and after the rep, like after the rep count, I would just add that. And then next workout, I would do that. And so it just gets better and better and better. I don't write it down anymore, but I definitely keep it in my mind. I'm hitting the gym a lot more often than I used to, so it's super fresh all the time. But yeah, actually developing it is just volume, man. You just gotta and intention. Like you have to want to do it. You're not just gonna casually just throwing weight around. Just develop the mind muscle connection. Like I can give a few tips that I would say can help on pretty much any exercise. And the first one is to close your eyes and picture yourself being the muscle. So, for example, let's say you're doing an incline press. Close your eyes. Picture yourself in your chest. And when you're pushing that bar up, you are just contracting your muscle and you're just pulling it up in a way. Because the contraction, like you're pulling your arms closer, but you're actually pushing the weight. But you think about that. Put your mind literally in the muscle and think of yourself being that muscle to move the weight. And the same thing for back. If you put yourself in your back muscles and think about the anatomy and just how your back feels and moves, when you're doing a row, just closing your eyes and just letting your blades open up and letting your everything extend and then pulling it all back with your back and then using your lats to pull in this part, like, ah, man, it's back. I would say if you're intentional, you'll develop mind muscle connection. And once it happens, it's amazing. I'm only a year and a half into training, and I believe I have great mind muscle connection. I can feel every single muscle when I'm doing it with literally zero exception. There is not a single muscle that I do not feel good in the exercise I do for it. So, and that's just because I've been intentional with it. That's been my focus. Mike Mincer is what got me into the gym. Like going high intensity, using the muscle, control the negative. I feel like I was blessed with that. I didn't get I wasn't the type to be on Instagram and like scroll through and look at all these other things. Obviously, YouTube is cool, but I'm not looking up workout splits to do from some random dude that just posts videos like on like VTech or whatever that dude is, like or at like Athlean X or something. I don't know, bro. Like obviously you can do that, but I'd rather find some more like some stuff that makes sense, some logical stuff, not just hey do this because I'm on steroids and I look good, bro. But Mike Mincer made sense. Obviously he's on steroids, but in all of his teachings and his phone calls, he always explains that is the reason he was able to work out more, and that's the reason bodybuilders can work out more. Like they can work out more often. Right now it's not as big of a deal. Like I'm uh I'm in a deficit. I'm not looking to gain muscle. So the I don't know if the everyday is doing more damage or more good, but I know that the constant stimulation means I'm not losing any muscle. Even if I am tired or overtraining or any of that. Like if I'm constantly stimulating, they're not gonna degrade at all. So I think this strain is jet fuel. It's like I want to say it was like a 29%. Shit was good. It's pretty green, like darker green. But anyways, let's go to another. My window's not working anymore. So boy is it hell to drive around right now. No AC, no tent. And now my windows don't work. Bro, I'm cooked. I am cooked. What's the difference between muscle soreness and an actual injury? How can I tell if I should rest or keep training? I would say soreness is in the muscle. Injuries are probably going to be more in tendons and like things like rotator cuffs, elbows. Um, Obviously, you could injure your chest, but that's like a tear or like a. I mean, obviously, like if you tweak your shoulder, that's like a rotator cuff thing, and then obviously you'll feel that, and you take the day off, and then start some rehab for rotator cuff. Me personally, I've dealt with the rotator cuff thing. I was getting something out the car, and I like moved my arm to get around the trunk, and I was trying to get out like that, and I felt it pop, and it was hurting for literally like I want to say 6 months I struggled with it, but in that 6 months I started doing physical rehab for it, like doing dumbbell rotator cuffs like this, talking all the way down with the stretch and then all the way back up, and you let that weight hang back. And I started on like 20s on those. I'm only up to 30. I can do 30 for 5 reps. Very controlled, negative. I haven't tried to go any higher because I've been in a deficit. But and I'm not really trying to like. I don't think the rotator cuff is obviously you want it to get stronger, but I'm not too concerned with taking it to like super high intensity. I just you like when I'm on a bulk, I usually take it to failure. But when I'm on a cut, I've just been doing 5 reps. I'm just trying to maintain my strength and just keep it building a little bit. Um, but also fixing your elbow position on the bench and your hand position, like if you're benching wrong, you'll feel your rotator cuff and you'll feel your shoulder tweaking and you'll have bad shoulders and you'll blame whatever you want to blame, but you might not hit you're probably still gonna hit bench because you want the chest. Like you just need to work on the rehab and use correct form. You don't want your elbows like this, that's all tricep. You don't want your elbows like this, that's all shoulder. But about right here is usually good. If you're going for super incline and you have healthy shoulders, you can go about like have a perpendicular forearms to the bar and then flare your elbows out. And if you have healthy shoulders, you will feel your upper chest a little more, but it's safer to do it with your elbows out. And I tend to do it like this, I think. I haven't tried the elbows up in a while. Um, oh, shit. But yeah, so let's do another. You recommend training abs every day, or is it better to treat them like any other muscle group? I'm sure you guys know my answer. It's any other muscle group. You overtrain it, it won't grow. How do I improve my bench press if I keep getting stuck halfway up on heavy reps? Uh, Lower the weight a little bit so that you're hitting your rep range before you get stuck. Because getting stuck halfway is a form problem or a failure problem. So that's not a bad thing. And you just improve it by using your form, using correct form, and building your chest how it's supposed to move and contract, and you'll get better. You can also add some assisted reps, like get a spotter, and when you do get stuck, have him help you a little bit, and then slow negative, have him help you again, hold it, slow negative, have him help you again, hold it, slow negative, repeat. Like I've already answered that one, so we're not gonna do that. How many exercises should I do per muscle group in one workout? I don't want to overdo it or waste time. W question. I would say I'm a good example of this question. Arms, one set. Chest, two presses, two stretches. One upper, one normal for each. Back, I have a upper mid row. It's mainly mid, but a little upper. But mid, let's call it a mid upper row. We have a mid upper row, chest supported. Then we have an upper pull down. Then we have a lat pull down. Then we have shrugs, and sometimes I add the cable lat pull over for the extra stretch on the lat. So for all those, it's one in the position, like, and per type. So like if there's a stretch and a press for your movement, you probably want to do one of each. But you don't want to do more than one of an exercise because there's no point. You're just overdoing it. I would recommend not doing more than 6 sets per session. Like if you're going to failure, that is. If you're not, if you're going to failure and you're going more than 3 times a week, let's say that. If you're going 3 times a week, you could probably do more volume in each session. But if you're not, then probably not. So let's do another.
How important is it to follow a strict workout schedule, or can I train whenever I have time during the week? No, the week is not a good just umbrella category for that. It's not important to follow a strict workout schedule at all, like by any means. But you do have to follow your schedule by the week, and you cannot just do whatever you want during the week, like just because that's when you have time. Like you don't have to do it at 6 a.m. every day. But if your like plan is to train every day, you do need to train every day. If your goal is to train every other day, you do need to be training 3 to 4 times, actually 7 times every 2 weeks. So what's the best way to track progress if I'm not seeing changes on the scale? And I think that's just simply your notebook and your workouts. Because even if the scale is not necessarily changing, like if your goal is cutting or bulking and the scale is not changing, that could be a bad sign over the course of a few weeks. But if you're just maintaining, the scale not changing is not does not it does not exactly correlate to an issue because you could be shredding fat and building muscle at the same time, just depending on how you're timing your meals and timing like your no meal times. Because I do believe building over a obviously not in the same window of time, not in the same hour, not in the same 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, right? But I do believe over a week you can build fat and gain muscle at like in that week. So, and I think that just comes down to meal timing because you cannot tell me. Let's say I wake up right one morning. Let's say I had steak and eggs the night before. Nothing over calorie, but nothing under like maintenance steak and eggs. Next morning I wake up in a fasted state. And it's even more accelerated because I didn't eat any carbs last night. So I'm burning fat all day. Hit my workout 6 p.m. Go home, chow down, eat a bunch of food, eat a bunch of protein mainly, right? But get calories in, but you're in a deficit over the day. Or maybe you're at maintenance, right? Maybe like so let's say shit. I didn't want to say let's say you're in a deficit because I literally just did that topic like yesterday or the day before. But I do believe if you're in a deficit and you eat all of your calories post workout, you've been fasting all day, it's not giant and like you can definitely eat a lot of carbs. Like don't trip about that. Um, it'll definitely help you sleep and it'll restock your glycogen. Definitely help you recover. But your body will use all that food to recover that night. And you were burning fat all day because what are you using for energy? You didn't eat anything. Like let's not think of it as so black and white as oh I ate 3,000 during the day, so that means that day I just used that food. It's not exactly that simple. If you're going all day in a fasted state, you are burning energy all day because you're moving, because you're doing things. You're burning energy. Now let's say you eat. Now let's just say you eat at maintenance. Let's say your maintenance is 2,000 and you eat all 2,000 calories, the same as the night before, steak and eggs. This time you ate steak and eggs and some potatoes, so you had some carbs, right? You ate 2,000. You ate your maintenance, but you were burning fat all day, even though you ate the 2,000 calories post workout. If it's not too terribly high in fat, most of those carbs will get deposited into your body as glycogen. So you're not going to gain excess fat from it. And any extra calorie, like there's like it's just not so black and white. Like it's not, I don't know if anything is. Like definitely got off topic, but that's to his, ha ha ha. But, let's say you eat in like 100 calorie deficit, and then you eat 1900 calories that night. Your body's gonna use most of that for recovery, man. Then you're gonna sleep. You're gonna burn calories while you're sleeping. Wake up, be in a fasted state again, then burn fat all day. So, like main gaining, there's some stuff to it, and there's even more stuff to it if you time your meals. Because I just don't look at things so black and white. Like things aren't, yeah, they're, yeah. Anyway, if you're not seeing progress, you just gotta check your notebook. It's only a pretty long video. Holy shit! Oh, my iPad can hold this. We're at 28 minutes. And that's just this. Plus all the lifts. This would be like a fucking 50-minute video or something. How do I know if my lifting program is actually working and when should I switch things up? If you're getting stronger, it's working. If you're not getting stronger, something's not working. Doesn't mean the program's not working, but something. Rest, recovery, food, sleep, something. If you fix all that and you're still not making progress, okay, switch things up. It's pretty much all to say on the matter. So I focus more on heavy weights with low reps or lighter weights with higher reps for building muscle. I'm not of the belief that either one of those necessarily causes muscle growth. I think heavy weights with low reps builds CNS and it builds your central nervous recruitment, like your muscle fiber recruitment. I think lighter weights with higher reps just get more blood in the muscle. I don't think either one of them actually produce muscle growth, and I don't think that that's what builds muscle. I think hitting failure or getting as close as you can to failure. That's like Mincer. There's like a black and white spectrum in a way. Not a black and white, but like a spectrum. Like, or people believe that there's like a spectrum that the harder you go, the more muscle you can gain. Generally, you can still gain muscle not going hard, but you're not going to gain as much as you would have if you went harder. But Menser kind of believed that there was a switch with growth, that once it's activated, which he is saying is at the very end of the spectrum, he's saying that's the switch. Once you literally cannot do anything else, that's the switch. So once you hit the end of the spectrum, you don't need to try to flip the switch again. That's it. But so in reference to that, if you're going heavy, you're probably not hitting failure. If you're doing if your thing is like heavy weights with low reps, are you hitting failure? I'm not saying you're not, but you could be. But are you hitting failure? Because you're probably not building as much muscle as you could if you flip the switch. Or if you're on the higher rep end, you're getting a lot of blood into the muscle, which is good. It's great for pumps. But like Minster said, pumps don't equal gains. Pumps is just a cool thing. Like, um, are you hitting failure with that? If you're hitting failure with the higher reps too, you're still triggering that growth. It's just taking you longer to get there. So you're involving a few more things like cardio and endurance, and you're not so much training for necessarily strength and power. You're more on the endurance side of things. But what's the difference between training for strength and training for hypertrophy, and can you do both at the same time? I do believe you can do both at the same time. That's what I'm doing. The difference between them, strength is mainly a muscle fiber recruitment and nervous system thing, and not like as much as it is a building muscle. I would say it's probably like a 60-40. Like 60% of it is muscle, and then probably 40% of it is muscle fiber recruitment. And maybe it might actually be the other way around, to be honest. But hypertrophy on the other end, you're training just for gains. The muscle is the only goal. So just hitting failure is what triggers that. Which over time, and you can if using heavier weights, you will also increase your strength. And if you're going to failure, effectively using the muscle, which is why the rep range is like 6 to 10, because that's the range where you can effectively use a muscle, go super heavy, and still get like a nice pump ish type of thing. Because 5 reps is kind of shy of hitting failure with you really like by really exhausting the muscle. Like I don't know if 5 reps is really it. Um, but in terms of nerve muscle fiber recruitment, 3 to 5 reps is golden. It's enough to trigger a lot of things, and you can get stronger without going to failure. So how do I know when to add more weight versus adding more reps in my training? I would say you shouldn't be adding reps in your training. Like not by you just telling yourself to. Reps should be added by you getting stronger. And weight should be added by you getting higher reps. So it's kind of like a one hits this, hits that. It's like a domino effect. So you should only add more weight if you get higher reps. If you're not getting higher reps, you're probably not growing. If you're using the same weight, that is, or at least you're not getting stronger. And there's definitely a plateau where you can get super strong, build muscle, super strong, build muscle, and then you start to wean off on the strength gain, but you can still build muscle. But I don't know where that point is, fellas. So, what are some common mistakes beginners make when trying to increase their squat weight? Well, I would say just trying to ego it, going up in weight before your form is correct and you're using the right muscles. I'm not a super big squat guy. If I do squat, it's usually a Smith squat and it's usually heel plated because I like to use my quads. Like I'm not trying to I don't care for the number of pounds I squat on my back. I'm trying to build my quads, my hams, my I don't need the squat. The squat works a ton of lower back. Bro, I already work my lower back. I don't need the squat to do it for me. And I don't need all the extra system fatigue from the squat. I'm not saying squats are not golden. Tom Platz built his shit doing squats, but I think the hack squat is better because it more effectively targets the quads. And that's just my take on it. Just take on it. But common mistakes, probably just bad form, lifting with people that lift way heavier than you, so you feel the need to lift with them, egoing, not having safety racks, not using a belt, not having correct breathing, not having the right back, like your back's not upright, like it's like slanted over. Um, when you're doing a squat, you want to compact your gut, so like you're bringing all the air into your abdominal area to create pressure for your spinal, like for your erectors and shit. That's at least the way I understand it. Um, you don't want you don't want all the air going into your chest. That's not what you want. You want like this. You want obviously some still went to my chest, but most of it went to my abdominal pressure. So let's do another question. This shit is getting long, brother. But it still is blunt, man. If this blunt was ending, I would probably be heading back. But how important is grip strength for deadlifts, and how can I improve it? I think if you're effectively trying to do deadlift for the goal of muscle gain, I think you should be using straps. I think using just straight grip is a mistake, anyways. And I think if your goal is to put up straight numbers on deadlift, you're probably using straps too. Um, but I would say grip strength is a good functional lifestyle. Like, it's a good thing to have. I don't necessarily work it on much. I have like little grip things at home. I might actually have one in my bag. Might not anymore. I might have put it up. Yeah, I did put it up. Oh yeah, I broke a glass in my bag. I had to empty it out a while ago. Anyways, I have like little grip things. Those are nice, but I don't focus on my grip strength too much. But one way I know you can improve it, get a bag of rice. I don't know. I'm not sure if short grain or long grain is better. I would think short grain is better because it's closer to sand. But just get a bag of rice, like a big bag. You can get one from Costco, like a 50-pound bag for like $25. You can put half of that, which is $12.50, into a big thing, like a bucket-ish thing, and then you can use the other half for food because as a bodybuilder, as a guy looking to gain muscle, you need that. And then just work your grip. I don't know, maybe every other day, maybe post workout before you eat food, so that it's involved in the recovery and growth process. Um, Maybe you do it every day, don't go to failure, so you just try to build it over time, and you're not looking so much to just like, I don't know if grip strength or like this is like the same as like a muscle grow type of adaptation. I'm not, honestly, I don't know, I've never done it. um I've done like the rice bucket a few times when I've seen it at other people's houses, or like at, I don't even actually exactly remember where I saw it, but I've used them a couple times. What's the best way to avoid lower back pain when deadlifting? I would say actually use correct form. Actually keep your back straight, and even when you're going down, like maybe I'll have to do deadlift my next back day just to show the form. But you're lifting it up and you're going straight up, right? First, like you're not like RDLing it up. You're just lifting straight up. So as long as your back is like upright and you're actually lifting with your upper back, and it also involves, I believe deadlift involves like quite a bit of quads if you do it the traditional deadlift way. I think like I don't the way I do it, it's all back, but it's not conventional. Like I've never seen anyone else do deadlifts the way I do them, but over time of doing them, I did what felt better, and now I'm at that point. So how do I build muscle if I have limited time to work out each week? I'm gonna be real, bro. You only need about an hour, probably less, plus drive time a day to get gains. And actually, if you're trying to get gains, you actually only need like an hour 3 to 5 times a week, depending on your recovery ability. So I don't think time is an issue for anybody. It's completely either lack of knowledge, not knowing that they don't need to do as much, or no willpower. They just don't want to do it. It's not for them, which is okay. Gym's not for everybody. Is it better to train more frequently with lighter weights or less often with heavier weights for muscle growth? I don't even think those two are related. Um, I think training frequently at all, if you're going to failure, could be an issue depending on your recovery ability, depending on your food, all depending on a lot of other factors. But I would say if you're not going to failure, you can train frequently. It doesn't matter if you're going heavier or lighter. Strongmen, powerlifters train 5 days a week, 5 to 7 days a week most of the time, and they're using very heavy weights but low reps. Other people are training a lot, they're using high reps, low weight, and they're not going to failure. It's the same thing. It's just two different sides of the spectrum, man. Two different points. Man, the window's not rolling down. Loki sucks. How do I balance strength and cardio without losing muscle gains? I'm of the opinion that they're not exactly correlated. As long as you don't blunt the adaptation of muscle growth with cardio, like doing it post exercise, I don't think it matters. I don't think you should do cardio right before your workout because that's just going to exhaust you and you're just going to have poor performance. That doesn't mean that you won't grow from your workout. Like, I don't believe that doing cardio before your workout will necessarily make you not grow at all. I do think it might limit how much you can grow because your performance is limited, so you're doing less overall damage to the muscle, and that's what causes like reaching a certain point of damage in one set is what causes muscle growth. But I've had this schedule in the past, and it was honestly like a really good schedule. I would wake up, go do cardio, shower, go to work, come home, work out, eat, chill, go to bed. And that was one meal a day. And that was in the bulk. Like in the bulk. Obviously I went through a phase where I was taking fucking like 4 chicken and rice containers a day, but that honestly just added up to so much work very consistently because if I'm gonna eat during the day, I have to eat enough protein for protein synthesis to be at the maximum level. And so for me, I mentally think that's about 50 grams of protein per meal. I think 50 grams of protein is like a perfect sweet spot to maximize protein synthesis. Like, obviously, if you go higher, you'll get more, but it drops off exponentially from what I've heard. So 50 grams of protein minimum. And that is pretty much 8 ounces of a very lean meat, but more often than not, that'll be 10 ounces of something. I'm more of I just like to eat a pound of meat a meal. Like 12 to 16 is perfect. Like it's golden. Eight is 50 grams though. So I mean, if you eat that 4 times a day, you're gonna hit your 200 grams. So assuming it's a lean meat. I don't really eat fatty meats when I'm on a cut. It doesn't make sense. And when I'm on a bulk, I prefer the higher protein for my dollar. Like best way to warm up before lifting heavy, should I do cardio, dynamic stretches, or light sets? I've already answered this. You guys know my warm up routine. You guys know it. Do like 5 reps, 5 to 7 of probably 75% of your weight. Slow, very controlled. Hold the stretch, hold the contraction, everything. That the goal of that set is straight blood to the muscle. Do not go anywhere near failure. That is not the goal. It's light enough where you should be able to crank out 5 to 7 without touching failure because you're using 75% of your weight. And personally, this is after I do all my bands. Like I do rotator cuff bands, I do shoulder rotation bands, I do all that. Then I do the dumbbells on shoulders and arms. But the damn, I kind of lost fucking track of the fuck I was talking about. Oh, the warm up. Um, 5 to 8 ish, 75% weight, and then I go up to the weight I'm going to use, and I do 1 or 2 reps depending on how many I need or what movement it is. And I'm not doing them super slow. I'm doing the positive with it's like a balance of power and control. I'm not trying to swing it up. Like I'm not trying to use as much power as I can to like throw the weight up. I'm trying to control it but you want to warm up your CNS, so you kind of want to give it some power. But you want to do 1 or 2 of those, and that's your 100% weight. So you're not going near failure, but you're touching that CNS and you're getting it fiery. So this video is almost an hour. Holy shit. How important is foot positioning in exercises like squats and deadlifts? Pretty important. I'm not gonna lie. Your feet placement and your heel elevation decide what muscles get used in a squat, and the same thing goes into the deadlift. It like almost independently decides, aside from how you position your back, independently decides. Let's say codependently decides, like those two together, what muscles you're going to use in that exercise. So it's pretty important. Damn, AI is crashing out, bro. It says searching the web. Yeah, I'm just using AI for these questions. I don't really have subscribers yet that ask questions, but if you guys have any, please leave them. I love to answer them. But this dude is literally crashing out. He's just giving me the same question now. So I'm gonna try to make a new one, ask the original question, and see if he still crashes out. So it might just be because I've been on that page for a fat minute. Awesome, yeah. What's your go-to strategy for breaking through a strength plateau, especially for bench press? Should I be focusing more on volume, frequency, or maybe accessory work? I think a strength plateau, you're probably overdoing it on volume or frequency. They're kind of linked. Like frequency is more like how often you do the volume, but the volume is how much you do. I think if you're hitting a strength plateau, you should try to cut back on overall volume, not necessarily, or no, no. You should cut back on overall frequency, but not necessarily volume yet. So you don't want to cut down your sets and your frequency, but you don't want to keep your frequency the same because you're trying to break through that strength, which means you need more rest. So you want to go less often, and then you'll break through it. And then, Mike Mincer says it, as you get bigger, you need more rest. And it literally makes sense because as you become more advanced in this art and you become better at using your muscles and your central nervous system becomes better at recruiting muscles and fibers, you eventually get to a point where you cause so much damage to the muscle compared to when you first began. And yeah, your level of mental or physical withstanding of that damage is a little higher, but it is not a crazy adaptation between the like overall fatigue that your body can handle. That's a genetic thing. That's not like I'm a train in the gym. Like yes, you can adapt it, I think, but I don't. It is a genetic thing. So just want to go less often. Kind of got on a rant, but it's what it is, right? But yeah, lower the frequency, keep the volume the same. Make sure you make sure you're resting, bro. Make sure you're getting your sleep. If you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep, there's no way in hell you are recovering fully in muscle. And if you're not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, there's no way in hell your mental is not fully recovering because you need the REM sleep, and the REM is shown to be the last little bit, like the last couple hours of your sleep, essentially. So, how do you balance training intensity and rest days to maximize gains without burning out? At first, go every day. Always go to failure. That in it, like I said before, in an experiment, you want to keep as many controls as possible. Failure needs to be the control. It needs to be one of the controls. Okay. The variable is the number of reps you produce, and that in turn determines the weight you use. So it's like a little equation. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you're not recovering, you just need more rest. I think it's honestly as simple as that. You need to take more days off, bro. Mike Mincer used to have this joke. It was like he had a client who was like, "Hey, Mike, well, what am I supposed to do if I don't have to hit the gym every day?" Mike was like, "I don't know. Take a walk, read a book, get a hobby, find something to do, get an education, so stuff like that." And I think about that when I think about going to the gym. But we all we love to physically, or at least I do. I like to physically exert myself every single day, or not every day if my intention is to build muscle, because generally the goal of building muscle is a lot higher than the goal of wanting to feel good from a workout. So that's just how I think about it. If I need to do less volume, that's how I think about it. My goal of building muscle is higher than a lot of things in my life right now. Or not right now because I'm actually in a deficit, but like in general, in my life at all times, building muscle is like pretty much a top priority. I try to sleep well to do that. I try to eat well to do that. I try to eat whole foods to do that, to feel well, to keep my hormones straight. Because I'm not saying you can't get your calories from bullshit, processed junk food, but I'm saying it will fuck your hormones up and over time cause a lot of damage and you will feel like shit instead of eating whole foods that, yeah, they got the same carbs, the same fats, the same, definitely not the same protein because beef is nowhere compared to any fucking processed food on the market. Fresh ground grass fed grass finished ground beef. Even a steak, like, it's not even close. And no type of processed packaged bullshit comes close to the level of macronutrients in a fucking sweet potato, homie. And sweet potatoes are great. They taste amazing. Like, I'm gonna tell you a little trick. You got an air fryer, heat it up to like 415. Let it preheat. Chop your potatoes. If you're using anything other than a sweet potato, you gotta put it in cold water to release all the nasty shit with ice. If you're using a sweet potato, that's not necessary. It doesn't have that. So you can just throw it in the air fryer, put some foil down, throw it in the air fryer. You're not putting no oil, nothing. Nothing. You want these things to cook. Once they start looking like fries, like I used this method last night with some russet potatoes and made some really good fucking French fries. But I use it all the time. I just do it a little differently depending on what I'm using. But you pretty much cook them until they start to look like they're cooked French fries, right? And when they're starting to get crispy, you pull them out, toss them in a bowl, say your avocado oil on the scale, zero it out, spray your shit, put it back. If there was a weight change, you freaking add it. And then you toss. I use this like Alexa coarse salt or Alexis or something. It's like a rock salt. It's like pretty like so I don't even know. It's like crystal salt or something. I don't know. It's super. It's like flaky salt almost, but it's like thicker chunks. It's super fucking good. But I spread that on it, toss the bowl, boom, 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 put it on the plate. Now you have literally the best ever French fries. Taste better than any fast food restaurant, and they were made at and healthy. So ain't nothing wrong with potatoes. There's something wrong with potatoes if they're fried in fucking soybean oil and industrial engine oil. Cause you think that oil just fries the outside? Like you think it just coats it? Nah, bro. That shit gets filled. That oil infiltrates that shit and fills it up, and then it also fries it. Like same way as if you put butter on a steak when it's done, bro. That butter gonna seep in. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, blunt has been smoked. 55 freaking minutes of me talking. W video. But it's time to hit the sauna. It's actually perfect. That sauna's about heated up now. Gorgeous timing. Gorgeous timing. Probably is heated up right now, actually. So that's it. Deuces.